What's my pepper? What's my pepper? Can somebody help me? Help me, help me. What's my pepper? What's my pepper? What's? Hello. And make sure you share this, subscribe, and if you need seeds, JP Pepper Seeds. Today's topic is Pepper ID posts. So here's my video of it. I get, lately, I swear it's almost 1,000 people per week asking me, what's this pepper? I may have or may have not bought this from you. So I'm thinking to myself, I might be doing somebody else's customer service or I'm doing my own. But why don't they know? Okay, so let's get into it. So here's the video. First off, Pepper ID posts on Facebook or Instagram or Reddit. It is impossible, almost nearly impossible. I shouldn't say impossible, nearly impossible to be 100% correct 100% of the time. There's over 30,000 peppers. So many look alike. You know, I'll give you an example. I'm just giving probably like one example. Chocolate habaneros. They're kind of roundish, little wrinkly at times. Now, keep that image in your head. 7-pot brown. 7-pot brown, if you get some runts that ended up ripening early, they're going to look like a chocolate habanero. And here's what gets me, and I don't think anybody thinks about this, except for maybe the vendors and experienced growers. If you're asking Pepper ID, but you haven't even tasted it yet, and you want us to figure it out, I mean, that's 30,000 peppers in the world. Okay, so, yeah, so many look alike. I wrote some notes here. Okay, and this is the number one wrong way of going about it is the number one way going about it. The wrong way is going to the general public and saying, hey, anybody, Billy over in the seat who just put his gum underneath the chair, help me out. Could you help me out, Billy? Billy, help me out. Sally, I don't even know if you grow. Could you identify this pepper? Could you identify? Tommy crossing the street. I don't know if you grow peppers, but you're in a pepper group. Could you identify this? They could say anything, like anything at all. And if they get enough people saying the same thing, they go, oh, thanks, man, that's what it is. And I'm thinking to myself, that's not what it is. These guys are going to either sell seeds eventually or trade them because that's the general flow of things going. So I'm like, wow, there's so many things, like new vendors selling wrong things because they went to the general public, and it's like, you got to do your research. You got to make sure. Sometimes it's better to throw out an entire plant if you're going to be a seller and get from a reliable source. That's what I do. It's costly. It's what I do. Okay. Now, I just discussed the wrong way. Now, if you get into these situations, this is the right way. If you're growing and you don't know what you're growing, you can only go from here on out. So I'm going to go through basically, it's multiple steps, but two main steps. One is if you're growing and if you bought fresh peppers. All right, we're going to skip to if you bought fresh peppers and they're not labeled. If they're not labeled and they will not, the vendor selling the fresh peppers, they don't have to tell you what they are. You bought them knowing they're not labeled, then you come to me and tell me to stop my work, stop production at Jimmy Pickles Product Line LLC, stop production, and then I get 1,000 people who bought fresh peppers. I don't sell fresh peppers and then want me to stop work. So let's get this straight. You bought fresh peppers, okay? They were not labeled, but now you're asking every Tom, Dick, and Harry to stop what they're doing and label them for you. And we're all working, you know, so you may not ever get the right answer because the general public is newbies. Because guess what? The great thing in the pepper community, it's expanding. So you're going to get more answers, more off the wall stuff. So that there's that. I don't know why I have a slide whistle. I think I ordered it by mistake or something. I got it. I might as well use it. Let's see. So let's get to where I can help you with my information. The right way of finding things out. First of all, let's start from the very beginning. If you're growing, label your seed trays. Also, do not water too much. If you water too much on a seed tray, I have figured this out years after years after years. And I just, that's a different subject. Anyway, so I got these. This should be cleaned out a little bit better for the video, don't you think? Anyway, so people put their seeds on, sometimes a little shallow. That's fine, it works, whatever. Well, if they overwater it, what happens is the water flows over to the next chamber. And now you say this is 7-Pot Brown. Say this is chocolate habanero. Now all of a sudden you're going to make a post. My chocolate habaneros are the hottest chocolate habaneros in the world. You know, if it goes that way, it goes that way. Oh, it's not as hot this year. I don't know, it might be the vendor. You know, that's the type of stuff that goes on. So, I'm taking it to my responsibility. I don't know why I keep doing this. Probably praying that people actually start doing things correctly. Going to the general public. No go, no go, no go, no go. So, let's get through this. If you're growing, label your seed trays. Do not overwater them, as illustrated before. Do not lose your tags. I mean, that's kind of like, nobody wants to lose their tags. But if you lose your tags, it happens. But I'll get to what you can do. Also, map out your grow. I mapped out my grow. I have several pages mapping out my grow. So there's that. And I already went through the fresh pepper thing. All right, so there is another solution to all of this. Okay, if you mixed up your grow and you bought seeds recently, ask your seed vendors. I've got my cheat sheet here. Ask your seed vendors for another copy of the receipt. It's called the process of elimination. I'm clearly reading off a paper. However, if you bought off a seed vendor that doesn't necessarily have a website, the chances are he didn't record anything, probably didn't give you a receipt, which you're supposed to. And you can't go through the process of elimination because they might not know what they sold you because it's not recorded. Some people, I know, some hobbyist sellers, I think they do record everything on the computer, but most of them don't, unless they got a website. So, I mean, it's just as simple as that. It really is. So, I think most of the Pepper ID posts are somebody buying fresh pepper boxes and they're not labeled and they want to know what they were. You know, I keep my videos free flow. there might come a time where I'm going to spend a little bit more time into my videos, but I have a lot to do because, I mean, I am running a business, taking care of other stuff as well. But I think eventually I might redo this video with illustrations, make it a little bit better, a little bit more professional. I just want to get this out right away. I mean, if you notice, I kind of paused and laughed a little bit. I got a message and it popped up. What's my Pepper ID? I'm like, they don't even know I'm doing this video, and it's happening as we speak. It's that freaking fast. If you're buying fresh peppers and they're not labeled, it's probably not best as the general public. You can ask the person you bought it from, but guess what? They don't want to spend the time. They didn't want to spend the time to label the peppers. But now you're asking them to do it. That doesn't really make sense. You could ask a vendor, can you label my peppers? And if they say no, you can go to a different vendor. It's as simple as that. You know, I've been in the pepper groups since 2012, 2013. I've been there since the beginning, the absolute beginning. And they used to just call them Boxo Heat. Boxo Heat. We're not going to label them because we got to crack this out. And fresh pepper sellers, guess what? They don't make much money. So they don't want to spend the extra time. Do you know how long it takes to label a small flat rate box? It's like 15, 20 minutes. That's only one box, and they're only making $6, $7 profit. Imagine doing 20, 30 boxes a day. You know, it's great. You can always color code. But anyway, that's a whole different ballpark. So I went over these things. If there's any questions, comments, or concerns I ask of you, please do so. Do not hesitate. Do not hesitate. Because your comments and questions and concerns can all be influenced for the next video, which can help other people out as well. Like I said, oh, hey, I almost forgot this, and I'm glad I remembered right at the end of the video. Right at the end of the video. If you bought something from me and you mixed it up or what have you, and I kind of am saying I really don't mix my stuff up, but I do give benefit of the doubt and I do try to help people. My grow is never mixed up for year after year after year after year. I never see it mixed up. Yet all these customers are like, this doesn't seem right from you. I'm like, well, all right. So that I got smart. Who would have thought? I got smart. And started looking up their information on what they bought. Oh, hey, this is this or that's that. And a lot of customers are like, oh, hey, yeah, I guess I was growing, but oh man, that's cool, man. So that's all you got to do. And don't slap a name. And for God's sake, don't rename a pepper because you don't know what it is. I've seen that. I've noticed that so many times. It's ridiculous. So, all right. Make sure you share this video. Share it everywhere. Share it places I'm not. Share it in Africa. Share it in London. Share it to your neighbors. Give this video to your neighbors' dogs. And if you need seeds, jppepperseeds.com. Isolated. Comes with an autograph that's really sloppy and you can't tell what it is. Subscribe to my channel. Glossy. All right, pay attention, learn, listen, share.